Just kidding. Hi. Welcome. Welcome to Essential Living with Pilar. How are you feeling in this beautiful fall season? Welcome to the show. In case you've never tuned in to Essential Living with Pilar, I'm Pilar. And Essential Living is a show about raising consciousness, all things holistic, living a better, more holistic, more natural, more harmoniously in tune with the earth, lifestyle in every way, and connecting with our spirit in a conscious and purposeful way. So it's just sharing tools and ancient wisdom, modern science, quantum physics, metaphysics, healing tools, healing methodologies, that we can all use to expand our consciousness and improve our well-being. And if we improve our well-being for ourselves, then automatically that would generate a better experience in our immediate life, among our immediate, in our immediate circle of influence, and that can continue to radiate those ripples as far as possible, depending on the intensity and purpose and intention with which you go about your daily experience on the planet. So during this time of year, we're getting deeper into the fall season. It is a time that we mostly express gratitude for the year that passed, because even though it depends on how you look at the beginning of the year, for me it feels like the beginning of the year is in really September, kind of back to school kind of thing. Summer is over, and now it's time to kind of refocus and reassess and realign and start getting ready into a more structured day-to-day existence that helps to review what went before in the past year and prepare in preparation for the year that is coming, that is little by little always coming along, but it layers upon layers upon layers going into the direction of the new and going with the flow of nature and the seasons. So in general, we get caught up in the holidays, and this means this and this means that, but we get caught up in the outer activity too much. So I want to always bring back the awareness, your attention, to focusing more within, more introspection and retrospection, meaning going back a little and reviewing how the past year went, without judgment. That's very important, without judgment, especially for yourself, but yourself or others or events, no judgment, because that only hinders progress. So forgiveness is the key thing to think of, just letting things go, just like the trees are letting go of their leaves, just gracefully and naturally with beauty and non-attachment. So gratitude is the other layer. We, of course, express gratitude for the harvest, meaning all our accomplishments, including the natural harvest of food and that production, but it's the harvest of our efforts. What did we produce that we are happy with and has value that we want to build upon and bring with us along into the dormant dead of winter, which is when we go within to rebuild and regenerate and restructure and realign in order to produce the new crop for your life, be it in your work, in your personal life, in your among your family members, in your friendship circles. What do you want to do with your life? What is meaningful to you, and what do you want to bring with you? Before you pack what you want, metaphorically pack of what you want to bring with you, you our best to release what you're not bringing with you. And that could take all shapes and forms, including people and that you may not want to be around anymore. Sometimes that's difficult, but necessary. So just let go with grace and ease and peace, and just be willing to let go and just say thank you, whether or not it was something that you enjoyed or you feel that you got a lot out of, or something, or maybe mistakes you apparently made or feel like you did. So they're all part of the evolution, part of the progress, part of the process of your growth and expansion. So just say thank you to it for the lessons learned as much as for the benefits gathered. It's just as important. But I'm always wanting to focus further within, going into the inner journey, into the deepest aspects of yourself as a spirit of light, which we all are, having this human experience. And one thing that we don't spend a lot of time doing, maybe some of us do, some of us don't, or not enough, is acknowledging every small little particle of life that forms, that are the electronic particles that form the atoms, that form the cells, that form the tissues, that form the organs, and everything that has a part of our function in our physical body. Oftentimes we are very negligent, or we're not content, or we're not very respectful of our inner functions that we really don't control. So these are things that the higher intelligence that gives us life is in charge of. So we're alive in spite of ourselves. And so I want to focus on bringing thankfulness and reverence and gratitude to every cell of your body, every part of your physicality, that whether or not it's functioning at its best, but it is important to be acknowledged. And science now proves this, that attitude of thankfulness, of appreciation that we have for everything, but especially our physical body, our mental, our emotional states, all of those things are every cell, every particle has an inner intelligence and consciousness. So all that programming that you give it, whether it's positive or negative, is going to have a very significant impact. So I'm going for the suggestion that you say positive things to yourself and really develop that ongoing. Make that almost a ritual. If you're going to ritualize this time of year at all, for those of you who do, make it about that part of life that serves you, which is your physical body. That also includes the physical body of the planet, because we are just individual units representing that larger organic being that is the planet. So we're made of the same components. We wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for it. So we're really all one and interconnected. And so nature is the greatest example and teacher. So I just want to encourage you to, of course, be grateful for all the external things and experiences that you are blessed to have, but focus more on your inner being instead of, and don't judge it whether your body's functioning at the best that it can be or not. Maybe start today treating it a little bit differently, speaking to it a little bit differently, instead of when you look in the mirror, having that automatic negative response like ugh, or analyzing how the reflection that you see is something that is pleasing to you or not. Just say thank you for having it at all, because if you still have life, you still have the ability to improve upon that life. You just have to believe that you can, and then you just have to be that way consistently. Just doing it one day here and there is not going to work. So oftentimes that's what happens. People try it a little bit, but they don't see immediate results. So they go back into the deep grooves of their habits of just being that negative talk that is so disempowering. and bad for your health. It is not an easy thing to do, but it is important, I think, for this time of year to go into the new year with more well-being in general, because it's not just about the physical health, because the physical health is just a side effect of your mind and your emotions. So the thoughts you think on a regular basis, the words you speak, what you use to express, the emotions that you nurture on a regular basis. So, you need to do some self-assessment, and then be grateful for what you come up with, because that awareness, that bringing it into the light, is what's going to help you change it, and give you the tools to change it. I would recommend that you go into this time of year with a very introspective attitude, and start building into that quiet time that you spend just being within, accessing your inner wisdom. Use whatever tools you need that work for you. Create a space in your home, or go out in nature and let that be your temple. But I would recommend to have a little space in your home that you dedicate to that aspect exclusively, and you use it daily, even if it's like 10 minutes, and just build that momentum and that energy there. The quickest and fastest way to shift your vibrational frequency, meaning what you're emitting due to your thoughts and feelings, is going to be the quickest catalyst, for me, are essential oils. Of course, there's the surrounding environment. You have the, quiet, make sure the area is clean and comfortable. Maybe burn some incense, but you can. I like to burn essential oils in an oil lamp, or just inhale them, because they work the fastest. So I'll always default to those, because if you want quick results, that is the fastest way that you can shift your mindset, you can shift your consciousness, your mood, your mood is everything. Your mood is your attractor. We worry about doing, external activity. Why aren't you getting anything done? You're busy doesn't mean productive. It just means that you're just busy. And being so busy means that you're focusing out there and neglecting the most important focus, which is in here. So give yourself the gift of quietude, the gift of serenity, the gift of introspection, the gift of gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, gratitude for being who you are, gratitude for maybe all the experiences you may have had that brought you to where you are now, and whether or not you feel you're perfect, there is no such thing. You're a continuous, growing, ever-expanding being, that there is no end to your attainment, because you're just going to continue and continue and continue, even after you leave the planet. In this lifetime, you will continue to evolve, and you always have your previous experience. So the quickest, the best, most effective way is to just give yourself that time to gather that momentum, and use essential oils to get you there. So I have a couple of suggestions. So we're going to bring up a graphic so you can have the ones you need at hand that are very compatible with the season, but they're the ones that are going to get you to be the most in tune with the energy of this time of year. And you'll find them in everything. So make sure that you focus on getting real good essential oils, so you have the actual effect. Because if you get synthetic ones, it's not going to work. In fact, it's going to create more damage, especially in your brain. So you don't want any fake stuff. Essential oils work the fastest, because once they go through your olfactory sense, which is the number one way you should use them, is to inhale them, is going to go straight, because of the geography of the olfactory sense is right here, right? So when you smell something, it's going to go right into the limbic system in your brain, which is right back there in the back, sort of like behind the bridge of your nose. So it starts working immediately on your emotions, and if your emotions shift, your thoughts shift. If your thoughts shift, then your emotions shift, so you get into a more of a positive role. And the longer you can maintain that for any length of time, the more your cells will respond in like. And the more if you repeatedly and consistently practice this, you're going to start seeing some significant results. And in this coming year, we're going to be working on regeneration and rejuvenation, which is something that has been sought after for years and years and years and years by all of humanity. You know, everybody wants to discover the fountain of youth. And the reason that it was never really found, even though Ponce de Leon thought that he did find it in St. Augustine, Florida, the only reason that it was such a difficult thing to find it is because they were looking all over for this fountain in all the wrong places, because this fountain of youth is not out there. This fountain of youth is in here. So it's always hidden in plain sight, just like truth is. So by taking care of yourself more, being more aware of your behaviors, your actions, your speech, your thoughts, your default reactions, how you interact, what is your default language, what do you say a lot? What you say a lot says a lot about your mindset. And so again, it's a time to assess, a time to reevaluate, to take stock of your product. What do you have to show for this past year for yourself? What have you accomplished that you set out to do? What didn't you accomplish that maybe you didn't need to accomplish, or something that you're still maybe working on? So again, it's not about judging what didn't get done. It's appreciating what is for what it is, for the service and lessons provided, and what it can do to help you catapult toward the new year as a better you. But this is all about you. You know, it is an inside job that is best only can be done by you going within and really being honest with yourself. And in order to be able to give yourself the space to do that, you really have to kind of go into a quiet space and create that habit. Create the habit of going into a quiet space on a regular basis. It's the perfect time to go outside in a beautiful day for a walk in nature. Do that. Get away from people, because while it's lovely to have company and nice relationships, people do draw your attention toward them. And I want to encourage you to make some space on a regular basis and give yourself time to just be with you. And a lot of people have a hard time with this because it's scary, because they're not used to it. We're living in a very noisy world, and it doesn't really encourage quietude, although more and more those of us that are intentionally waking up and being aware and being willing to show up because we chose to be in this lifetime here right now, even though we don't like a lot of things, but we did come with a purpose, and we came with a purpose to elevate the vibration on the planet at this time, but that has to start with us. So the important thing for you to do now is to give yourself the space and the tools you need so you can shift that, make some significant progress, because you want to go into the new year with a clean slate, and not, you're not going to get rid of everything, but you can get rid of a lot you don't need. Get rid of the emotional baggage, the worry, the self-judgment, the critical part of you, the part that hinders you, habits that you don't need, whatever they are, be it emotional or habitual things that you do all the time that are hindering your progress in any way. Spend some time in your creativity, in your genius, in what you love to do. Focus on you, I guess, is the gist of it all. Focus on yourself. because that is your number one responsibility. And again, I encourage you to use essential oils. And let's bring up that graphic again so we can write down what they are. And I'll tell you what, cinnamon is a very warming oil. So we have cinnamon, clove, orange, nutmeg, and spruce. Cinnamon is a very warming oil that is very comforting. It has a lot of health benefits too. But I'm talking about just the emotional and mental aspects. It gives a lot of clarity and focus. Clove is an oil of boundaries, so it's a good oil to use that energetically is going to allow you to create that space for yourself and allow yourself to have that space to grow and evolve and nurture yourself. Orange is the oil of abundance, so that gratitude for the harvest, that gratitude for the abundance that you have in your life, the fact that you have life, consider that your abundance, and you can work to improve that. Nutmeg is a key oil in order to open your third eye, your inner vision and wisdom. It gives a lot of opening to the mind into your higher realms of to connect with infinite intelligence, your own wisdom, your own experience, your own guidance, because nobody can guide you on your life journey, only you. Spruce is any of the pine oils are oils of generational healing. So it's a good opportunity to clear out, even on a DNA level, all the baggage that maybe your family has carried on traditionally for generations and generations and generations. And it may be your family, it could be your heritage, your ancestral lineage, those cultural habits that don't really serve you today. Keep the wonderful traditions, but let go of the dysfunction of your cultural past, your generational past. So orange being in the middle, to me, is perfect because orange kind of goes, you can match up orange with anyone, like by itself. And it's a great balancing oil for all of them. And being that it's the oil of abundance, it opens up your heart to that gratitude. It lifts your spirits. It's lightening, it's clearing, it's clarifying. It's very comforting. It's uplifting. So mix a little bit of orange with either cinnamon or clove or nutmeg and spruce. I wouldn't do them all together, but I would definitely use orange as a kind of common denominator partner with each of them because, well, you'll see. You'll like it, trust me. And use them because literally they are your best tool for quick results. You can put them in a pill, but you can take a million things. You can use a lot of different things, but honestly, more and more, they are the fastest action, and they're just beautifully pleasant and have a multitude of value and health benefits on a physical level. But you can also bring that energy into the room by putting it into a diffuser or a little oil lamp like this to make your gatherings, your own space more pleasant, inviting. You want to go into your life and in your space and in your world and just feel like you're home. And that could be anywhere because you can carry them with you and you can be home, have that feeling of centeredness everywhere you go. And so they're very portable, so they're very handy to bring along. Always have something with you. But just let yourself breathe deeply. Breathe, make a habit of breathing deeper than you normally do. Focus on your breathing. Make it rhythmic. Make it conscious. Be aware of yourself. Be aware of everything. There's so many things that are beautifully happening all around us that we miss in our rush from here to there and inner preoccupations. So just let them go. Let them go and just take a pause every time you can think of it. Maybe put an alarm in your phone. Take a gratitude pause. Take a gratitude pause. Make it a habit 3 times a day. How about that? Make it a habit 3 times a day, every day, from now on, forever, to take a gratitude pause 3 times a day for just a few, maybe 1 minute. Big deal, right? Who can't do that? And make that a habit. Make that your new habit of gratitude for this time of year. Walk with that habit everywhere you go. Take it with you. You don't need to tell anybody. This is your secret habit, your personal practice. Go with it everywhere. Take it everywhere. You can take you. So just do it. See what happens. You might be very surprised. I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. I'm starting today. Sometimes life will give us an example and a reason to start. So don't wait for that. Just start today. And I will see you next time with more momentum and more tools and more insight into what we can do to go into the new year with empowerment, with peace, with well-being, and intention to make the most of ourselves and to live our divine assignment that we each have. And if we're still on the planet, we're not done. So buck up, little camper, and I will see you next time. Thank you.